will share the screen and let you hear what he had to say about the Niners kicker for the moment. Jake Moody. Here it is. Former Niner corner, Richard Sherman.
But Jake Moody got to go. Jake Moody has to go at this point. I know fans, are so sensitive because we're in a day and age where everybody gets a participation trophy, and no, you don't talk bad about anybody, but you got to do your job. And at the end of the day, this team loses the game by 6 points. He misses 2 field goals in a PAT. You missed 2 field goals in a PAT. I mean, this is a business where you have to execute, especially at that position, and he has not done it at a high enough tilt. And I understand he was drafted and had all this claim. The Detroit Lions found their kicker in a brick shop, doing a heck of a job. Jake Bates, no offense to him, no shots at him, but you can find a kicker literally anywhere. I think they've done the best they could to hold on to him and try to make it work and try to develop him, but it's time to let it go.
What do you think? Where are you on Jake Moody?
Richard Sherman deserves flowers for that because he kept it 100, Larry. That is absolutely how I feel. I think that's how all the Niner fans feel. You see it every game. They protected him. I feel like they coddled him all year. I get it. There's a lot of pressure, but the pressure was built in the moment he was drafted in the 3rd round. And it's unfortunate. He's a good kid. I get it, but you got one job. And he's right. Jake Bates, they found him literally off the street, and he kicked that 57-yarder. He got hurt right before the kick, and he made it. You got, Jake Moody out there missing the PAT, screwed the onside kick. And the thing that was crazy was, okay, he missed the 51-yarder. Okay, you knew that was going to miss. And then Kyle lines up for, a 58-yarder, 57-yarder? What do you do? You knew he was going to miss the kick. Come on now. Like, there's no way he's making that 58 one if he misses the 51. But he's got to go. I get it. They drafted him. They wanted to give him opportunity. The ankle injury, I'm sure that played a part of it. But a lot of it, I think now, it's all in here. It's mental. And I think he's going to be one of the first to go. It's sad for him. Maybe he can find another place and resurrect his career. But 49ers and Jake Moody, he's got one more game next week against the Cardinals. And I think after that, sayonara, man.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know what to say about this one. I mean, it's just so ridiculous. First of all, no more kickers on the first 2 days of the draft. I don't care if the goddamn kicker walks on fucking water. I don't care if he's been perfect since fucking Pop Warner. I don't care. No more kickers in the first and second day of the draft.
Nice.
Ever. I don't care. No more 3rd round kickers.
He gone.
That's one. Okay, that's one.
For sure.
2, I know you can't compound your mistakes. You can't compound your mistakes. You make a mistake, you just, it's better to just own up to it and move on. Cut bait, don't compound your mistakes. I had a buddy who bought a car and he didn't know where the dipstick was for the oil. And I'm like, okay. And he almost burned out his engine because he never changed his oil. I said, well, dude, so now he's like, can you help me with my car? I'm like, pop the hood. I'm like, where's your dipstick? He's like, I don't know. I go, well, how did you check your oil? He's like, I haven't. So he compounded his mistake was not knowing where the dipstick was. He compounded his mistake by, instead of finding out where his dipstick was, he just didn't ever change his oil. And he almost ruined his car. Almost smoked out his engine. And I said, dude, you're a damn fool. And he's like, don't compound your mistakes. You made a mistake. You drafted a kicker in the 3rd round. Don't compound it by costing yourself multiple seasons of games because he's not the right guy. And Shanahan's concerned about, well, I once coached a kicker who we cut, and 3 years later, he was the highest paid kicker in the league. Guess what? We'll chalk it up. You know what? If Jake Moody goes on to the Colts and becomes a kicker who's great for the next 20 years, so well. Oh, well. Yeah. So be it. Good luck to him. It didn't work out here. Maybe he just likes Indianapolis. I don't know. Maybe he has to kick in a dome. I don't know. I don't care. But don't compound your mistakes by just refusing to, just afraid because you made a mistake. You drafted a kicker in the 3rd round. That was a mistake. Okay, admit it and move on. Don't just keep trying to defend it. And I heard John Lynch say on the radio, literally 2 weeks ago, Jake Moody's going to be a great kicker for us for a lot of years.
Yeah,
dude, he's not going to be a great kicker for you for a lot of days. He's done. It's over. He's not. You cannot come back with Jake Moody. Dick Sherman said it. Don't compound your mistakes. Please. My God, learn from your mistakes.
Own up to it. Just like they owned up to Trey Lance, own up to Jake Moody.
Yeah.
Fucked up.
By the way, this is me yesterday. I don't know if you saw this. Here's me yesterday bitching about, this is in the pregame, I think, or was this, but man, I forget. This might've been today, actually. Let's see. I forget if it was today or not, but anyway, here it is. Here is yours truly bitching about Brock Purdy playing behind this terrible line. In my mind, it was reckless and unwise to put Brock Purdy out there behind Austin Pleasance and a bunch of guys that you just signed a couple weeks ago, and nobody seemed to think it was that big of a deal. I've seen Shanahan on 3rd and 15 run Hughes check into the line instead of dropping his quarterback back to pass and maybe getting 15 or 20 yards. Why? Have they never had a 20-yard pass play? No, he's playing the odds that negative things can happen. If you're going to measure risk reward on 3rd and 15 in a random game, why the hell would you put your starting quarterback out there behind 3/5 of a makeshift line against a really good team? There's a point when you lose connection on the scoreboard and you no longer have offensive balance. And that's what the Niners did. They had 16 straight passes. When you have 16 straight passes, the D linemen are no longer playing the run. They're all just shooting upfield, gearing for the sack. Once the defense is in that mode, get him off the field. And for nobody on the Niner headsets to say, Kyle, let's get our starting quarterback off the field instead of potentially getting him seriously hurt. No, we have to get him seriously hurt. And this tire fire of a fucking season is that much worse.
Woo!
So,
Spicy.
there you go.
Fired up.
Spicy, man. I was spicy.